Hello. Short film and the internet. Do these both go together? At first glance, I think everyone would agree, especially considering the success of YouTube. But today we don't talk about the user-generated content, but about artificial short films, as they are shown at this festival. In the real, meaning the offline world, short films do not gain very much attention, especially compared to feature-length films. Only a selected number of cinemas show short films, and on television too, there are only few channels broadcasting them. The biggest and undivided attention short films gain at festivals. However, if Katrin Heinrich and her book, Der Kurzfilm, the short film, is to be believed, these festivals are kind of a short film island on which the films are seen mainly by an audience that is already interested in them. Keeping this in mind, she also states that a new interest in short films can only be generated if a new audience becomes aware of the short films, and especially of the qualitative, valuable short films. Proposing this, Heinrich didn't yet think of the internet, but maybe the internet is just the best opportunity to reach a larger audience. This is the idea I want to concentrate on today. So firstly, I talk about technical and economic opportunities to distribute short films via internet, and then I will endeavor to evaluate the situation of the short films on the web. Technically, the internet offers the download, the progressive download and streaming. If you use the download, a downloaded file is saved on your computer and you can watch it at a later point. Whereas in case of progressive download, you can already start watching the film while downloading it. Streaming is different though. If you stream a movie, the film is not saved on your computer and is only played with the help of the right software and the internet connection. Meanwhile, there are very different devices through which the internet can be accessed. There's not only the computer and the laptop, but also smartphones, tablets, TVs, and so-called set-top boxes which are connected to the TV. Furthermore, there are apps which you can use on smartphones and tablets, and they also generate opportunities to download and stream short films. Based on these technological conditions, various business models were developed for the business-to-consumer distribution of short films. These models can be separated into a number of different categories. You can distinguish, firstly, between business models adapted from real world and those which are native internet business models. Secondly, you have to distinguish between free offers and renting or buying goods. A typical model transplanted from real world is the mail order model. Physical goods are sold on the internet and then posted or delivered to the consumer. But thanks to digitalization, there are now even more ways of selling goods, such as the short films. Now films can be delivered digitally, meaning that downloading and streaming is needed. So if someone purchases a film digitally and downloads it, this process is called electronic sell-through or download to own. It is the counterpart of selling physical goods, such as the DVD. The advantage is that the customer owns a copy of the film and is able to watch it without being online. Some electronic sell-through providers do not only allow their users to download a film, but also to burn it to a DVD or Blu-ray disc, so that a final piece of goods is produced which is quite similar to what you get from physical film sales. This option is especially appealing to somebody who appreciates possessing films. However, the importance of possession is decreasing. We can recognize this trend already on the music market. On the music market, there are online retailers like Spotify, or in Germany Simfy, which are very famous. And on Spotify, the user is allowed to access a database with 13 million songs, and he can create playlists and for a monthly fee even listen to these playlists offline. What I want to show is the difference. The user does not own anymore the songs, he only consumes them. And in the end, this difference is hardly noticeable. So yeah, I want to show the fact that electronic sell-through is becoming less important. If people put an emphasis on possessing films, They mostly do so because of the symbolic value of a DVD. Now, if you purchase a film digitally, this symbolic value gets lost. Florian Mann came to this conclusion in his dissertation, Film Distribution of Online On-Demand Services. Therefore, the trend is not towards electronic sell-through, but towards video on demand. Video on demand is a service where you can watch a film on demand for a limited period of time. And there are several models for video on demand services. On the one hand, there's the concept of download to rent. That means you download a film either normally or with a progressive download, and the film is available on your computer for a limited period of time. This version can be found within Apple's iTunes, for example. More widespread, though, is the version of video on demand streaming. The consumer can watch the film as a stream, mostly within 24 or 48 hours. For accounting in VOD, there are 3 distinct versions. Firstly, there's the option of pay-per-view, also called TVOD, which means transactional video on demand. The consumer pays a fee for watching one film. Some websites, like Movie, I don't know if you know it, also offer the opportunity to watch new films for free for the first few weeks that they are online. In my opinion, this is quite a smart idea. As a matter of fact, the willingness to pay is very small before and after watching a film. Before you watch the film, you cannot be sure about its quality, and after watching a film, you already watched it. So, if a new unknown film is free for the first weeks, the user will watch it, will comment on it, and evaluate it. This is very important for the willingness to pay for future users, as the uncertainty about quality of the film can be diminished. Another business model for VOD is the subscription video on demand, SVOD. Here, the user pays a monthly fee and has therefore access to a part of or the entire database of the provider. Next to TVOD and SVOD, there's another possibility of video on demand, which is advertised video on demand. It means that films can be watched for free, but there's advertisements such as banners on the website. It's quite comparable to commercial TV. The main advantage of this model is the possibility for users to watch the films for free, and that means more users will watch the films and not just the ones who are willing to pay for it anyway. Furthermore, Florian Mann concludes in his dissertation that most providers think of this model as one with a lot of potential for success. However, the disadvantage is that title holders often hesitate granting AVOD licenses. Firstly, they are afraid of a devaluation of their products, and secondly, they fear conflicts of interests with the free-to-air television. All these business models, mail order model, electronic sell-through, and the different VOD versions are examples of models which are taken from real world. Most business that takes place on the internet doesn't involve money. These are the so-called native business internet business models. Mostly, this kind of business is about exchanging information. Also, a great deal of digital material that is transmitted or exchanged on the internet does not involve a financial transaction. In this context, you can speak about reputation capital, as does Rishab Ayagosh, an open source initiative board member. It means that on the internet, more importance is placed on someone's reputation and prestige. A business model which can be classified as the native internet model is, for example, Web TV. Web TV offers video streaming for free and all the time. It means you can watch the videos on a Web TV page whenever and how often you want to without paying anything. The most famous example, of course, is YouTube. Keeping in mind the reputation capital, a film has most chances on YouTube to become very well known and famous. However, the filmmaker does not get any money. So this is the important question in short film distribution. Should the consumer pay to watch for a film on the internet or not? Should the short film go with the flow of advertised VOD, or should it buck the trend and choose the TVOD or SVOD model? To answer these questions, it must be clear who wants to get what when short films are distributed on the internet. Is it the aim to achieve popularity and a bigger audience for the short film? If so, maybe the AVOD and web TV model would be the best choice. Here, the chances are bigger to reach a new audience who probably wouldn't have paid to watch any short film. Or do you want to earn money by selling short films? If so, there's a further question to be asked. Who wants to earn money? In the music industry, it can be seen that even famous artists don't earn the American minimum wage by selling their songs on the internet. On the internet, their songs get famous, but making money is only possible by giving concerts. The ones who make money selling songs on the internet are so-called aggregators. An aggregator is a website or computer software that collects a specific type of information from multiple sources to provide it to the consumer. In the music industry, this would refer, for example, to iTunes or Spotify. Thanks to the internet, it is possible to provide a huge selection of digital goods. In the real world, this is not possible because of restricted shelf space. Chris Anderson underlines this fact and develops out of this his theory of the long tail. He states that selling a lot of niche products, such as the short film, products that only have a small demand, can be very profitable on the internet. These niche products pull in sales for aggregators. The theory is called long tail because of a diagram about products and their demands, which you can see here. According to this diagram, very few products are very highly demanded. These are the top 20. And plenty of products are very less demanded. The lesser demanded products have a shape of a very long tail. That's why it's called the long tail theory. The long tail steadily comes towards zero but never reaches it. That means for every product there is at least one person who's interested in it. So if a provider offers a very huge selection from the long tail, niche products such as the short film could make a large profit. However, it becomes clear that an aggregator with a huge selection is needed. For short films, there are already some providers on the internet. However, I haven't found an aggregator which matches the music aggregators in terms of size and presence. As we have seen, it is possible to make significant profit through short films on the internet, but only for aggregators and not for the single artist. Therefore, at the end of this presentation, I refer back to the question that have to be cleared up in advance. What does the short film want to achieve on the internet? Is it about making money? Or is it about turning the attention of a larger audience to the short film? Or maybe just is the aim, as in the arts, to distance the artificial short film from other videos on the internet and create web portals that specifically target the short film's already existing fans? Yes, and with these questions, I'd like to finish my presentation. Thank you.